Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about why home services are the number one business model for recurring revenue in 2025, and it's not even close. I want to tell you that whether you are fresh out of college, you're working a 9 to 5, or you're already successful and you're just looking to diversify into the home service industry, it is hands down the most overlooked path to building predictable, recurring cash flow in 2025. And I'm not talking about swinging a mop or actually doing any of this work, scrubbing floors, washing windows yourself. I'm talking about becoming the operator, becoming the middleman of a system that runs and scales regardless of what your experience in this space actually entails. So we're going to jump right into it here. These are the 4 definitive reasons. We're going to start with, why home services? Great question. Well, the home service industry is massive. The home service industry in the US is a $650 billion market. It's essential. People will always need cleaning, maintenance, and turnover services, along with so many other different things to be done around their houses. And this is not even at all tapping into yet the commercial side, the Airbnb side, or any of the other different facets outside of straight residential here, okay? Unlike tech startups or some other fancy new business model that require huge upfront capital, home services have low barriers to entry, relatively low overhead, and most importantly, repeat customers. Again, unless you want to spend the rest of your life acquiring clients for your business, you are going to need to target a business model that has a recurring revenue stream so you can sell people once and make money over and over and over again. You think about it, and if you can just earn their business one time with a spotless home, with a high quality clean, with a great customer experience, they come back weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever it is, regardless, they come back to you time and time again for their need of that service that you provide. For busy professionals, this isn't just a side hustle, it's a proven way that you can actually build a new asset without having to leave your corporate career right away, and without having to be on a job site, without having to put up a ton of upfront capital, or do really anything that's that crazy. This chart here actually depicts the US home service industry currently and then growing. It's projected for 2025. We're only halfway through the year currently, but right now projected at around $871 billion in 2025, with projections to grow to over $1.4 trillion by the year of 2030. This is absolutely astronomical growth here. Like astronomical growth. 10.23% during that period is the compound annual growth rate. This market is already massive, and it is only continuing to grow more and more and more and more and more. And again, we are only looking at residential right here. This is only individuals, people just like you and I that own a home, have services done in that home. This is not even touching into the commercial world, which is probably already trillions of dollars of business as well. But seeing as that's not our main focus, we're going to stick here on the residential side for these statistics. Now, you might ask, any other reasons? Well, absolutely. There's a low barrier of entry with high margins. This essentially just means that you can break into this very quickly. You can break into this very low cost or affordably, and you don't have to start taking on a bunch of random tasks or, learning a bunch of new skills. You can work with the skill set that you already have. We can focus on entry-level, high-demand janitorial services to break into the home service space. And then from there, we can start to branch off into more technical, more skill-based, more niche-down services, okay? This can include residential cleaning. This can include small-scale commercial cleaning. This can include short-term rental cleaning. And this can even include long-term rental cleaning. Residential cleaning might be you going and doing a deep clean of Stacy's house before the big party that she's having on Saturday. She has you in on Friday. You come, we do a big deep clean there. When she calls, she is in need for that service. It's a simple service to fulfill, and it is a very high margin job, often 50% plus. Commercial cleaning. This could be your favorite bar, restaurant, library, office space that you work in. They don't have to be these massive conglomerates. They don't have to be these enormous, enormous buildings. While you can, yes, go out and target and service, Kohl's or car dealerships or Targets, these massive stores, you can also just get in with the coffee shop down the street. You can also just get in with the bar at the corner. You can also just get in with your local library, chiropractor, dentist, etc. They all need commercial services because they don't have someone on staff that handles cleaning, but they need their spaces to be cleaned so that they're desirable to their customers. Next is short-term rental cleaning. The short-term rental industry is booming right now. It just continues to grow. This includes Airbnb, VRBO, independent short-term rentals, so much more. So many people are not only listing their own properties, but also even leasing or arbitraging Airbnb or short-term rentals to get other people in and out of the properties on a shorter period of time, which means they can charge more per night. It's like a hotel versus a long-term lease on a house or an apartment. In that case, this is great for the client because they can charge more, but it's also great for us because that space needs to be cleaned so much more frequently. There are Airbnbs that I service that are being turned every 2 or 3 days because they constantly have a stream of new clients coming in and out. And these need to be full turnovers, including laundry, including checking the cabinetry, checking the condition of the home, checking all the appliances, any dishes left behind, any trash left behind, etc. These can be very high ticket services and are on a quick repeating cadence because they always want to keep them booked. Lastly, this can also include your long-term rental cleaning. Long-term rentals are excellent. Long-term rentals are the apartment that you're renting out. It could be a home that you're renting out. Anything where you have a landlord and a renter type of situation, but it's not necessarily being turned over super frequently. These long-term rentals will be larger jobs because more work will need to be done. The client will have been in there for longer, so we're probably going to need to pull out appliances, clean under and behind the fridge and the stove, clean inside of all the appliances, inside, outside of cabinetry, windows, etc. So much work to be done. These are the biggest cleans, oftentimes even including the walls, baseboards, ceiling, etc. All of these are super, super low barrier of entry and all have very strong margins because we haven't dipped into the very heavy commercial side where, margins decrease significantly. These can all be done at a 35, 40, 45, 50% profit margin for all 4 of these different sectors. And this is only in the cleaning industry here. So let's move over here to the third point as to why we love the home service industry. And that is that there are tons of untapped gold mine markets. We've done market research across 300 plus US cities. This says 200, but by now it is actually up over 300. And one of the biggest missed opportunities is in the mid-major markets. Everyone wants to obsess over the large cities, the New York cities, the Los Angeleses, the Chicagos. Yes, those markets can be great, but if you're watching this from somewhere that is not a massive city, just know that some of our highest performing partners and highest performing businesses, most sought after locations currently, are some of the ones marked right here on this map for us. Tacoma, Spokane, Salt Lake City, Reno, Little Rock, Baton Rouge, Rochester, Akron, Madison, Des Moines, Springfield. There's so many good ones, right? This is just a small sample. All of these cities have a population between 100 and 600,000 people. If you include the metro area, they're probably between 250,000 and 1 million people, and they are ripe for the taking. There is low competition, and there is so many more places that are not even on here, like an Omaha or a Minneapolis even is not that large, right? There's a ton, and these are just literally off the top of my head here. These cities have growing populations, a strong mix of families and businesses, and far less competition than your coastal or large city markets. They're primed for scaling an online operated service business. If you are local, it is even better and even easier to get footing in these markets right away. High demand, low saturation, and strong upper middle class base of people that can afford the services, have enough property and enough home to actually, want and need to go out and pay for these services to be done. Okay, let's move into point 4 here. The best thing about this business model and why we love the way that we run it, the leanness that we have, is because you can ride the sweet spot of business size. Your competition will likely be either too small, there'll be these tiny little owner operators, and they're attempting to run the business while also doing all the fulfillment, and it's just not feasible for them to scale to certain points. Or you're fighting against these too big corporate beasts, no quality control, no employee retention, no availability. Both of these are a big no-no for the consumer, whether you're this owner operator who is the boss and is the employee, or whether it's a giant corporation. The problem with both of these is that they either have too tough of pricing, have no availability, or the customer experience is terrible because the cleaners are constantly different. The operators and owners maybe have lacking in English skills. All of these different things provide opportunity for us to kind of skate in as the middleman, right? At this point, when we can slide in as the middleman between the too big and the too small, it allows us the agility to be able to hire and service a large number of people because we're using the contractor method, and we can hire and place and dispatch on a very, very short time frame. Or on the flip side, it also is nice for us because we have a more personalized approach. It's like an owner operator in the sense that when the customer calls, they're speaking directly with you or your manager, and they're not getting to some giant corporate chain of command with super rigid structures, or they're getting a different team sent to their house every single week because they can't retain any employees and the schedules are completely random. Right, your cleaners will be happier, so your customers will be happier, your job quality will be higher, and you can charge more than the owner operators and just make customers more happy than the giant corporate monsters can, right? There is nothing, like I said, nothing but opportunity that exists in this space as it stands right now. This opportunity is yours for the taking right now. You've got the idea. The idea here is extremely simple. All we need to do is lay the infrastructure for the business so that we can step into the role of the business operator first, master it, and then get ourselves out, automate, delegate with VAs, with technology, the CRM systems that we use, and just become an overseer, become the business boss. Become in charge of it as opposed to being the owner operator who's stuck inside of it. The idea and the framework are simple. All we need is this online presence that's going to attract leads, attract clients to come in. And then we need a way, an incentive for these contractors who are very high level and good at what they do to also come work alongside of our entity. We connect these two in the middle, and our entity becomes this passage point. We take the customer's money, we pay the contractors, which keeps both of these two people coming back to us every single time. With this ideology, if it's all set up correctly with a nice website, nice pricing, CRM, high quality customer experience, etc., we start to slowly build out a calendar. We start to sell jobs. We start to get ourselves busy, get our contractors working, which builds their loyalty to us, provide high quality service, which allows us to convert more and more of these clients to recurring, and scale our ads over time as we amass reviews, as we amass an online presence, a local celebrity status for our business, and become more of a household name. This begets all of the growth that the company needs. As we start to grow and hit benchmarks, we can then start to hire in new staff to take over these key roles, buy back our time, get out of the company, and then hit our target right on the bullseye of being a business owner that has predictable, reliable cash flow that we can just sit back and enjoy and oversee. 2 managers or 3 managers can run a company that is comfortably doing $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month on the top line, and therefore netting $20,000 to $35,000 on the bottom line, all with the right systems and people in place to oversee the business. Ultimately, the reason why we say that, like I said in the very beginning, the best opportunity, the number one business model for recurring revenue in 2025 is home service businesses? Well, the reason why is extremely simple. And excuse me, guys, this is my first time on a Miro board here, if you couldn't already tell. But the reason why is extremely simple. The process is extremely lean. It's extremely repeatable. There are a lot of good markets still available left for us to tap into. And at the end of the day, the process, once it is built properly, can be automated. People can be plugged in to take over and run the company on your behalf so that you're not stuck slogging away in the day-to-day every day. And even while you are the operator, it can all be done in realistically 15 hours a week of your time, because your role is extremely simple. Now, I know I've had a little bit of a head start on this business model, but there is a reason why I still have so much conviction to it. And one of the questions that I get asked most frequently is people say, Parker, if you went back to the very beginning and you were starting this all over again, what would you have done differently? What would you have done? What would you recommend that I do? And what I would say is I would find somebody who has already done it before and that would have a partnership with you, a vested interest in the success of your business, to make sure that they actually have your best intention in mind and that they're looking to build alongside of you, not just sell information to you or just pretend that they have the roadmap. And I realized that when I looked around, there was nothing out there like that existed. So I went and I made it myself. I love this industry so much that it will be my goal over the next 2, 3, 5 years to own equity in as many of these exact same home service businesses as I possibly can. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by partnering with high-level operators, people just like you watching this video who are keen to take advantage of this opportunity, start to add recurring revenue to their lives, start to add another predictable, reliable income stream, whether it's your main thing, your side thing, whether you are brand new to entrepreneurship or have been a business owner for decades in the past. I want to partner with you if you want to work with me, especially if you are in any of the locations that I mentioned before, or the location you are watching from fits that same criteria of a mid-major city. Please, 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 please go check out the link in my bio. Go watch the full breakdown of exactly what the partner program, home service partner program that we run, exactly what we do. We take care of all the front end setup for you. We take care of all the back end setup for you. We make sure your pricing is right, your CRM is right, your phone is right, your email is right, your domain is right, your website is right, your insurance is right, your LLC is right. Every single thing and every little nuanced detail in the middle is all taken care of for you on the front end setup side and the back end setup side. And then we work hand in hand with you to grow this location alongside of you and continue to foster growth for months and years to come, because we are a direct equity partner in your company with you. If this is something that you're interested in doing, go ahead and go to the link that I put in the description to the Home Service Partner Program partner application. You can there get more details and a more in-depth breakdown on exactly what the Home Service Partner Program entails, what would be required of you to be a good partner, what the startup cost of the business looks like, as each location does have costs involved. We can't create these businesses for free, but this is the best way to make an additional $4,000 to $6,000 to even $10,000 a month within the next 6-month time period, implementing the exact strategies that I have been able to implement with myself and other partners over 30 times all over the United States. So if this is something you're interested in doing, hit that link in the description of this video. And if you want to learn more about the business model, check out the other videos on this channel and make sure you smash the subscribe button and leave a like or a comment with any questions, and your comment may just be answered in the next video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you in the next one.